A lot's been said about Gone Home over the years, and I'm sure people are sick of hearing about it by now, but it's a crucial reference point when talking about Fulbright's most recent release, Tacoma, as one does the walking simulator storytelling game well, and the other doesn't. Gone Home is effective because of the simplicity of the story being told. It's a story about a family and a house, that's pretty much it. You have characters to care about almost instantly, you have a relatable, grounded situation and setting to get invested in. Wandering around the house, discovering new places and new information about the family and the circumstances that surround them feels completely natural. You're in the shoes of an absentee sister and daughter. You have catching up to do. In contrast to that, Tacoma's justifications and settings are far more contrived. The main character, Amy, I think, appears to be a professional memory retriever, someone who goes to wrecked or abandoned spacecraft after their inhabitants have perished or fled in order to rescue data and personal crew logs. Now, this may seem immediately to be the best way to frame a game about reading and watching and walking, but it adds a layer of unnecessary abstraction that makes it harder to engage with the short character-driven stories being told here. As this is your character's job, there feels like a deep-seated cold distance, a rigidity to the process of floating around the Tacoma, watching these short plays and reading the logs of people trying to come to terms with their grim fate. It's hard to find a deeper connection with them beyond the obligatory, "oh, that's a shame, I hope they don't die in space" sensation any normal person should hopefully have. It's a sensation of pity or existential dread, not one of profound sadness or deep sympathy. It's hard to imagine dying in the endless cold of space. It's much easier to imagine the plight of families and people dealing with identity and the search for meaning in general. Sure, the stakes are significantly lower for the domestic ennui, but that doesn't stop the emotional impact something so mundane can have. Even the way you explore and discover new information in Gone Home feels warmer and more inviting. Tacoma is a corridor, a short spookhouse ride you're taken on, where you have to watch short plays acted out by faceless holographic entities with character bios and their little floating panels to help you feel like you know who they are. Remember everybody's going to the rapture? Remember how it didn't really feel like you were discovering these bursts of story so much as just being shown them? Tacoma feels very similar. Like, as little input as you usually have in these sorts of games, everybody's gone to the rapture and Tacoma take even more of that sense of unfolding, discovered narrative away from you. Sure, in Tacoma you have the choice to discover a little more about each crew member with a bit of digging, but it feels far more forced, and because you don't really know them or their ultimate fate, it all feels a little bit creepy to be peering over their shoulder at their DMs, invading their private conversations and eventually their living quarters to learn more about a group of colourful echoes, strangers. To what end? Then some stuff happens, and it turns out it was actually about liberating the ship's AI all along. Like, you were there as a contractor to get these logs, but you steal the AI, whose name is Odin, by the way, and you get back to your ship and fly away all triumphant, like, we did it. We saved another sentient AI program. I couldn't believe it. It's bold, I'll give them that. Bold to swerve your audience like that and blatantly state that the past 2 hours turned out to mean absolutely nothing. It was a ruse. You were being played the whole time. The crew, who were moments from death in the vacuum of space, were just a mislead. Their story is so meaningless and unimportant it was forgotten about the instant Amy sat back down in her spaceship. She was actually an AI liberator the whole time? Aye, good.